Greetings, everybody. We've got a new environment, a new participant here. That's my granddaughter. This is a family night for me. Super Bowl at a beautiful home. I did a video earlier on Facebook to show you how beautiful this home is. So there's lots of talking behind me, but that's okay. This family night, Super Bowl night, and the people here are just beautiful people. And this house is where we come many times during the year to have celebrations, to get together, and just a beautiful yard and lake and all that. So, welcome everybody to Soul Purpose Healing with Viata. I'm Viata, your host. Super Bowl night highlights. First of all, it's 17 points. I think it's Philly against the Eagles. So the Philadelphia's ahead, 17 points. Boring as heck because it's the first half. I am the daughter of a football legend, and I'm going to be showing you an interview that was done 16, I think it was 16 years ago with my dad, maybe more than that, who was a legend in football back in the late 40s, early 50s. That's why I'm here at this Super Bowl. I usually don't watch football until Super Bowl because it's more exciting in the last quarter of Super Bowl when people get desperate. So let's just welcome our global family. I hope everybody around the world is enjoying Super Bowl with family. That's what football is all about to me because having had a father who played football, and again, we got kids around here. It really is a family night here. Kids everywhere, parents inside drinking, having fun with their Super Bowl. But let's welcome our global family to the Female Solution.
Blog Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/.
Well, we want you to listen right now on YouTube. Viata's Tiny House Village. Blog Talk was my favorite platform for 11 years. They ended last month, the end of July. Not July, we're in January. End of January, no more Blog Talk. So we're here tonight on Viata's Tiny House Village. And I'm here in Orlando, Florida with some beautiful people enjoying a football game, which is my life for many years. My dad, again, football coach, football player. But now we're here to enjoy Viata's Tiny House Village and Facebook Live Soul Purpose Healing. And there's a phone number you can call, 727-731-5192. But let me welcome my Tiny House Village. So come on in tonight. The village is at a beautiful home in Orlando, Florida, where we have lots of people with, let me see, three big screens watching football game. Why football? Well, my dad is a legend, and I uploaded a interview that was done with my dad at Ditka's in Chicago many years ago. So I want to introduce you and honor my dad tonight on this football occasion because he was a legend back in the late 40s. So let's watch this quick interview while we wait for my guest. My guest tonight is Master J. Rue, and he will be sharing the details on becoming a let's see, wrong one. He will be sharing the details on becoming a conscious millionaire real estate owner. Okay, but let's watch an interview of Sherman J. Howard, who was a football legend back in the late 40s, early 50s.
Hi, Sherman. You come out to an event like this. For you, how important is it to have groups like this where guys who've gone through what you've gone through, playing and after, can all be together and talk?
Well, memories. That's what you live on when you're my age, memories. I'll be 84 in November, so that's memories.
84. What still in those memories?
Well,
What still gives you a charge?
well, the guys I played with, Tom Landry and Motley and guys like Otto Graham, so Bill Willis. Those names come to your mind, and so you're glad that Emlyn Tennell, we all close. So.
When you talk about a Landry or something, did you know he was a coach when he was playing with it? Did you see that in his future?
Well, I knew, Landry and I started out together in 49. So we were both with the Yankees at that time. And he was our punter and the defensive. So we could have a close relationship. Then over the years, whenever I'd come by, he'd always be glad to see me.
Was he a student of the game?
Oh, yes. See, the guys he played with at that time, Snellenbach, I see he just passed yesterday, and Tom Monroe and Tennell, those guys, they were pretty good ball players.
Sherman, you still look pretty spry for a guy your age. You seem to have come out of the wars much better off than a lot of these guys.
I taught high school physical education for 32 years, so I had to be in shape to stay along with the kids. And then I coached for about 27 years in high school.
Let me ask you one thing. For fans, what don't they know, or what can't they ever identify with unless they've been in a team and on an NFL field?
2 a day practice. See, I don't care how well you prepare for it, you're not prepared for 2 a day. That's the body going at its highest suspension for 2 days. Two times a day. And that's for 2.5 hours. Now, at that time when they stay out there 3 hours. But now, they got it pretty well arranged. I know when I went with Paul Brown, he had it well arranged. Hour and 50 minutes, that was it. I don't care what you were doing, hour and 50 minutes. Now with Lombardi, when I was with the Giants, you might be out there until he got satisfied. So that was a different thing.
As I let you go, what was Paul Brown like?
Very astute, mean what he said, and very analytical. Never cursed, never holler at you, or whatever he said. One of the things I always remember him saying, are you running as fast as you can? And so you didn't answer that because if you said no, that means you're loafing. And if you say yes, you might be too slow for his team.
Thank you very much, Sherman. I appreciate it. Nice meeting you.
So that was my dad 15 years ago, I think. And he was an athlete, and so am I. I'm carrying on my dad's legend to be athletic and take very good care of my body. So as I approach 70 years, it's hard to believe. I am so grateful for the game of football, for one, because back in the late 40s, uh, the teams were mostly European or Caucasian, and my dad was an exceptional player to be drafted into the NFL in the late 40s to play for New York and to play for Cleveland Browns, who won many championships back in the day. And he was also a star in University of Nevada, where they played in Oklahoma. They played a team in Oklahoma all white team in Oklahoma for the first time. There was a lot of media coverage and conflict because they didn't want to play a team that had black players on it. So my dad and another player were the only two black players on the University of Nevada, and their coach said they wouldn't come if their players, if my dad and this other black player couldn't play, they weren't going to play. So, with much resistance, Oklahoma allowed the University of Nevada team to come to Oklahoma for the first time. An integrated team played back in 1946, I believe, and they beat them something like 65-14. It was a slaughter. So that was the beginning of my dad's very popular football career. So very, very grateful to be here in this crowd of football lovers, because that was what my dad taught me about football, was the relationships that these guys develop is what is so important in this game. Now, there is also the other side of that. There's a Netflix documentary called Broke. Yeah, Broke, and it's really an excellent portrayal and description of what happens to a lot of these professional athletes who enter into this profession with high hopes and big contracts and big salaries, and then they go broke. They either go broke financially or they break their brains. So there's a lot of controversy, there's a lot of conflicts that go on within this game of football, but they go broke primarily because they marry women who take their money away from them after long periods of conflict and disagreements, and they spend their money unwisely. So, tonight, my guest, Master Jeru, is going to give us some knowledge and wisdom. I'm out here in the elements about making money in real estate. I think this is especially important tonight as we celebrate Black History Month, because African Americans, Blacks, melanin people are lacking, many are lacking in land ownership. And when you own land, you don't have to worry about your future. One thing I noticed when I traveled to Belize was that the people there had, most of the people I met had lots of land. I mean, there was one woman had probably 5 acres of land living in a shack. I mean, a real shack. But the most pleasant, happy, smiling person you could ever meet. She had food growing everywhere on this land. And I'm sure she had no mortgage, because many of the people in Belize are DIY developers. They do it themselves, they build their own houses, okay? So we're going to learn a lot tonight from Master Jeru about how to build the millions. That's my granddaughter. She loves to come and show her face. Jasmine. All right, Jasmine. And she's wandering around. As I said, this is a real family night tonight. Football games usually are, but for me it is. So welcome everybody. We're waiting for Master Jeru, and let me read some comments here. Uh, Naima says, I'm on the switchboard at So is Mama AZ. Can you see the calls? Make sure your phone stays off mute. Yes, thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama AZ and Naima, for joining us. And I'm sure we'll have more joining us. And she also says, thanks for the football history lesson. Of course. What else can I do on Super Bowl night but give a history of football that we love, right, Jasmine? Mm-hmm. So we're having fun here tonight, waiting for Master Jeru. I might have to call him. In the meantime, I think I'm going to go ahead and get my drumming going, because we are on Sunday night, Soul Purpose Healing, and I do bring in Becca Shea every Sunday night while we wait for Master Jeru. I don't know what's keeping him. And in fact, I think he was going to come on at around 8:15. So let us just enjoy. Let's enjoy the drumming by. I got to bring her up. Actually, I don't know where she went. Enjoy the drumming by Becca Shea, who is about. It's about the heartbeat of our Creator. And because it's Black History Month, it's also about the heartbeat of a melanin people that needs reviving. Who's going to give us a heart boost tonight on some of the things we can do to improve our lives because it's so needed. We need to come out of the poverty mindset and build our possession of land and all that. So let's listen to Becca Shea, Heartbeat. Get your drums out. I didn't bring my drum with me to the football game. And it's about maybe a minute or two from halftime, which Kendrick Lamar is going to be on. I think if Master J. Rue's not here, we can listen to Kendrick Lamar. I'll take the mic over to listen to Kendrick Lamar. But anyway, here's Becca Shea, Heartbeat of our Creator, to bring us to an enlightening, awakening place in the country of the United States and all over to have real estate and more.
And let us run some people for God. From every tribe and language, people, every nation. Where warriors are falling, there's a resurrection coming. It's your time to rise and shine. Wake up, you sleeping giant. The wounds of injustice are being healed by the peace of Yahweh. It's bringing us power through unity. Where warriors are falling, there's a resurrection coming. Tribes come alive. Yeah, wake up, you sleeping giant. Your heartbeat, I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. We cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. Together we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. We cry out for your heartbeat, oh, your heartbeat. This is the hour to know whose side to stand by. Raise up a standard in battle for every fellow tribe. Our warriors are fighting, there's a revival igniting. Search for such a time. Yeah, arise, you blazing fire. Brave and stand firm and listen to your destiny. The rhythm of our Father moves with victory. Where warriors are fighting, there's a revival igniting. So, my soul, God, and arise, blazing fire. Your heartbeat, I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. Yeah, I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. I feel your heartbeat. I feel it. I feel it, I feel it. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. We cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. Together we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together, bring us together. We cry out for your heartbeat, oh, your heartbeat. Together, we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. Together we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. We cry out for your heartbeat, oh, your heartbeat. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. We cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. Together we cry. Yes, you are. Bring us together. Bring us together. We cry out for your heartbeat, oh, your heartbeat.
So, if you have Native American history in your background, you know that the land was stolen from our ancestors from the beginning, when Europeans landed here, they contrived and sneaked and schemed to take the land from our Native American ancestors. So today, we're talking in the month of February, Black History Month, about how we need to take back our land. You know, it's time. And we do that with conscious people, with people of integrity. Was involved with a group, or not group, three people who didn't have integrity, who weren't conscious necessarily, and it was a nightmare working a real estate investment with these people. So we're talking tonight with Master Jeru, who's going to talk to us about how to do it right, how to come together with conscious and people of integrity and build your real estate portfolio. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm out here and under the trees because it's Super Bowl night, and I'm at this very big house here with three big screens and a pool and all that, and everybody is behind me. This is halftime with Kendrick Lamar. I'm going to be watching the highlights of that later because we want to hear from Master Jeru is here in the house, and he's going to do a lot of talking because I don't want it to be too. No, I'm going to mute while he's talking because it is a little noisy here, of course, because it's Super Bowl night. And Master Jeru, welcome. How are you this evening?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I am awesome, stupendous, and feeling great. And like my man Reverend Ike said, looking good and smelling good.
Well, we can smell you from here. I think the fresh of plants and love. We smell the love coming from you.
Yes,
From
yes.
So as I was saying, I showed a video of my dad. My dad was a football legend back in the late 40s, early 50s. He and I wrote a book together. And so that's how I have a love for football, because I had a father who was an athlete. More than anything, these men playing this game are athletes. But
Yes.
as I said, there's a documentary called Broke. Some of these athletes don't have the land, the investments right, and they don't have the women and the right women in their life. So they got to work on a lot of things. And you're here tonight to help us begin the mindful, conscious thinking about becoming a millionaire and owning real estate so that we don't have to go broke in the future years, right?
Right. Yes.
Right. So, why don't you, for those who don't know you, this may be some of my listeners, maybe their first time. Can you give us a little bit of your background and then share with our audience how we can avoid going broke and build a millionaire mindset?
Okay. Well, I what am I? I guess I got I got to read on the back of one of my books. This book here, Wealth Secrets of the Soul. All right. It says that Master Jeru Love is an international transformational speaker, visionary, thought leader, wow coach, which is a wealth, health, opulence, wisdom coach, and master meditation teacher. He has taught on 5 continents and 35 countries and is the founder and chief inspirational officer of Real Wealth Institute, a certified transcendental meditation TM teacher. He has over 60,000 hours of meditation experience. Master Jeru's initial training was with the founder of TM, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, in Ethiopia, Africa, at the base of the Blue Nile. He is also the author of Autobiography of a Black Yogi and 108 Ways to Raise Your Vibration. God, I listen to this guy too. I mean, he sounds...
Who is that guy, huh? He said. Yeah.
And I'm happy. There's
Yeah.
a saying, one of my master teachers, because I've been very blessed. I've been mentored by some great beings. And he used to talk about 24-hour bliss, being in a state of bliss, irrespective of what's going on outside of you. In fact, I got a good friend that back in the late 90s and early 2000s who wrote a New York Times bestseller And the name of it was Happiness for No Reason. Okay? Because we create our own chemicals. Okay? The kingdom is within. All right? And so what happens is that, you know, being a meditation master, I help people to deal with their spiritual development. And one of the most spiritual things you can have is a thought. You can't grab a thought. You can't see a thought. It's spiritual. It's not physical. And the average person has 60 to 100,000 thoughts a day. So you can direct those thoughts, but most people just let their minds run wild based on the frequency that's going on around them. And the frequency in modern day society is what, you know, they call the 3D matrix, is death, disease, destruction, disharmony, scarcity, and poverty. That's the frequency. And that frequency is doing their job. It's up to you to transcend, to take your real estate. The greatest real estate is between your head, these two temples, okay? And transcend, to go beyond. What happened? Okay. My my computer went blank. But anyway, you want to transcend and start to create a different reality. And it starts with your thoughts. But your thoughts are reflective of your nervous system. Your nervous system is your vehicle for perception. So starting 9 months before you're born, within your mother's womb, you pick up the impressions. And she's going through stuff. The family's going through stuff. You know, us as Black folks, you know, even though slavery doesn't exist anymore, it's like there's this whole thing of post-traumatic slave syndrome, the whole frequency that keeps happening. But we can transcend that because we're powerful beings. We're powerful beyond measure. It's like Nelson Mandela said, our greatest fear is not our inadequacy. Our greatest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. And it's so true. Every person on this planet is a super being, but you got to come in contact with it. If you don't come in contact with it, if you don't clear out this real estate, then you can't expect to have any real estate out there. Okay? So the conditioning is to be a consumer, not to be a builder. Okay? And then there's fear coming in from the airways, from this thing, from that thing. All right? So what happens is it starts to create the wear and tear on your system, and it is unnatural. I'm going to say this again. It is unnatural to age. Aging is a disease. And what happens is that the wear and tear on the system from the stress and conditioning have put humans into a place where they have a death hormone. And the death hormone says you'll barely make it to 100. Yet there's confirmed things in the past, all right, like Methuselah, like Sarah having babies in her 90s, and then a little more esoteric as you go back into ancient Kemet. They say that Thoth ruled, otherwise known as Tahuti, otherwise known by the Greek as Hermes, ruled for 14,000 years. Okay? So he had to grow up and stop it sometime. So he was probably 15, 16,000 years old. All right? So the human system, according to modern science, as you know, the single cell has been around for the longest. So why is there wear and tear? Why is there aging? Why is there dis-ease, which brings about a physical malfunction in the body? All right? It's the stress. Stress is any chemical or structural imbalance that remains in the system after an overload of experience. Okay? So another basic definition of stress is any imprint on your nervous system. Okay? Good, bad, or ugly. All right? And it's up to you to get it off. Nature's natural way of getting stress off the system is through rest. And notice I said rest, not sleep. Okay. And the deeper the rest, the more profound the activity. Okay. There's a great quote in the God spell. Some people call it the gospel. The quote is, "Be still and know that I am God." And from the scientific point of view, is when the system goes down to absolute zero, the entropy goes out, the disorder, the dis-ease. So when you can settle down and be still, you start to take the stress out. That's why meditation is so important. I was just talking to a gentleman yesterday, very successful gentleman in the real estate field. And he said, I can't meditate. Okay. And there's a lot of people don't. They said, my mind is going around everywhere. I can't meditate. And I told him, I said, look, the mind is just like a little puppy. If you bring a puppy home, if you don't train them, they go pee, pee, poo, poo everywhere. All right. But if you train that puppy, you say, look, there's some, you go to the paper or you go to the door and you start whining, and they learn. Okay. So they're techniques for the mind. The mind is much more powerful than the body. So train your mind. They're hacks. And when you train your mind and you go beyond the stress and the limitations, okay, then there's nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. 9 out of 10 millionaires in North America are made through real estate. All right. So you got to get the real estate in here straight, and then you get the real estate out there straight. All right. So what we're looking at is first create your own foundation. To build a building, you got to have a strong foundation. So the more you develop your consciousness, there's nothing in the physical world that you cannot be, do, or have. All right. So what we're looking at is being more awake, aware, and vibrantly alive, and then applying that in the marketplace. And so for whatever you can value to help people, like for instance, one of the things we're looking at is helping for affordable housing. Okay. To help people with the affordable housing. And literally we have a mantra. And the mantra says, make a difference and make a fortune. Okay. You can have it all. Doesn't have to be either or. That's another thing, that to be spiritual and to be close to God, you got to be poor. That's absurd. Okay. We're looking at owning land, setting up what they call REITs. I got a course coming up teaching people about these things. And most people that you talk to, if you say a REIT, they have no idea. Okay. It's a real estate, name and form, REIT, real estate investment trust. Okay. You can get it through your broker, but especially most Black people, they just trying to survive. We're in a capitalistic society, all right? And real monopoly is being played. That's not just a game. There's real monopoly, but you got to know how to play it. And most people think you got to have good credit. You got to save up money for a down payment. That's if you do it at the low frequency level. Okay. At the higher frequency level, you don't need a dime. Okay. You don't need the credit. All right. There are a number of what you call OPM. Okay. Vayato, do you know what that means? OPM. Other people's money.
Other people's money. Oh, I love that. Yes.
Yes. OPM. No rich person uses their own money. All right. And 9 out of 10 businesses fail in the US. In fact, they say in 2023, over 5 million businesses were created. And 90% of them, 4.5 million of them went down. Okay. Part of being an entrepreneur is this yo-yo. Because we're in a world where we've created this duality. All right. But quitters never win and winners never quit. You get a seminar, you learn from it, but you got to take some risks. If you don't take any risks, you won't get any rewards. All right. So as you start to learn some hacks and some techniques, you can buy land, no money down. You can buy houses, no money down. You can buy apartment buildings, no money down. You can buy storage spaces. You can buy, laundromats. You can buy car wash. You can buy anything that's associated with real estate. Okay? But you got to be creative and you got to know how to do it. That's what we teach you how to do. There's a place in DC. I'm from DC. And all of you probably have heard of or know of Howard University. Okay? And Howard University, right on 7th Street and Georgia Avenue, used to have a small kind of hotel inn. It was called the Howard Inn. And it's right on Howard's campus. Literally, years ago, and this, it just so happened it's Black History Month, but I used to teach Black folks how to get their land and people of color, all right? How to get their houses. My grandmother bought a house for $5,000 in DC, little row house. That house is worth $1.5 million now. And you got to have a trust fund to live there. You see? Properties are always going to appreciate and people always need a place to live. So what we train people how to do is use the OPM, there's a lot of free money for housing, okay? How to use the internet and chat GPT to do these things where you can get money for down payments. You can get money to fix up stuff, but we're not fixing up any stuff, all right? We're buying good houses, all right? And specializing in creating thousands of homes for people and getting the abundance straight from the government, what is known as Section 8, okay? And there's a lot of bad rap about Section 8, but it's mainly perpetuated because they don't mess up places more than just any other person, and probably less because if they mess up a place, they lose their voucher and they have nowhere to live. Okay. So we're creating that type of housing and also getting land. I just had 17 acres and I ran into some things and what have you, the ups and downs of the market. But now I got another 11 acres and there's land everywhere. And you can get it for no money down. But you got to know how to develop it. That's a whole nother skill. Okay. But with the real estate that I'm teaching people, within 12 to 36 months, you'll be financially independent. 12 to 36 months. And within 5 to 7 years, you will be wealthy, cash millionaire in your bank account. Okay. No matter what the money is, it could be dollars, it could be, Bitcoin, it could be whatever the currency is at that time. You'll have millions of dollars of it that you can put in whether it's digital money or not, that you can put into your account, starting from nothing. Okay.
So question, when you say you can have 17 acres, you can have 11 acres, that might sound kind of scary for some people, and it might even sound like, resistance to that because that just sounds like so much to manage. So, what's behind the investing or acquiring 17 acres, and then what are you going to do with it is the question. And how many people? I know that it takes people and support or hiring to manage that many acres. So how do you how do you process the fact that I'm buying 17 acres, but then what am I going to do with it, and how will I manage it?
Okay. Well, as you know, everybody used to try to do everything by themselves.
Right.
Okay. And the
Some
time
people,
has
some
changed.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The time has changed for collaboration and joint ventures. So we create teams. All right. And everybody doesn't do everything. All right. And that's the second level, is going into land and development and, you know, tiny houses or cottages and all like that, and multifamily. We're buying already existing houses, and in our, you know, modified hybrid of these real estate investment trusts, we're looking at a person can have 9 houses within 12 months, 33 houses in addition in the second year, and then 66 houses the third year. Okay. Which comes to 108 houses. And I
It
like
sounds
108. It's a
scary.
very special number.
Well, it
Okay.
sounds scary because who's man? Okay, so you say a person can have so many acres, so many houses, but where does the collaboration and the support come at? Because I don't want to have 108 houses with no help or support. So
Right.
where does the support
That's what
and
that's
collaboration?
that's what a REIT is. You don't do anything. Okay. A REIT is an investment trust. So you get a check and a statement. All right. Now, we're doing it as semi-passive, and you're into passive by the third year. The first few years you have to do something, and that's what my training is about, but it takes you 15 to 20 minutes, and it's cut and paste. All right. So there's no management involved. There's no tenants and toilets, none of that stuff. The trust is handling it. Okay. So what we're doing is creating this as an abundance vehicle where the cup runneth over. All right. So basically, what you got to do is show up. All right. And that's it. You don't have to have a payment. You don't have to have a down payment. You don't have to have perfect credit. You don't have to have none of that stuff. But you do have to show up. And what we've created is a club, a wealth club. Okay. And the wealth club is called the Conscious Millionaire Wealth Club. All right. And as a member of that, then you can go to these intensives. We're starting a Facebook group. Okay. And these intensives, we're basically giving away for free or hardly nothing. Okay. Depending on where you're coming in. We're starting a founder's circle. All right. And then you learn these things, but you're not doing them, but you start to have awareness of it. So we're going to bring it, we're going to cover it, but then we're going to bring in experts on insurance. We're going to bring in experts on property management. We're going to bring in experts on banking and finance. Okay. And the biggest thing is we're showing you how to be an investor, where you have money working for you instead of you always working for money. That's the big deal. You see what I'm saying? So most people, when they think about it, like you say, you're starting to get a headache. Thinking, oh, I got to deal with these tenants. I got to deal with this property. No, you don't. When you got a stock in a company, do you do anything? No. You just get a check. Okay? This is a whole different framework of thinking. All right? And that's part of the training. Look, I've done this. I've owned over 100 units in properties. Okay? I've refinanced the property and pulled out $1 million. Okay? So I'm lending my belief. Okay? And you have nothing at risk. I was telling this one sister about it, and she's being conservative, and everybody is, at whatever level. She said, do you have anything written about it so I can show it to my lawyers? I said, show it to your lawyers? We're talking about a $97 course that I've discounted 99%. Okay? What are we going to show it to the lawyers for? Okay? And then if you do get into the investment, I'm going to show you how to get money. We're using OPM. So you have none of your money at risk. None of it. And a little bit of time for the 1 or 2 or 3 years, which you have to do daily or once on the weekend for a few hours. That's it. It's an investment. So your rate of returns are infinite because you have not risked any money. You have not risked any credit. Okay. And we call it conscious millionaire. So we help you with the mindset. And we teach you techniques so you can get out of your own way. This is what stops most people. Right up here. Okay. And most people, I'm seeing the note here. Most people have been conditioned. All right. In fact, one of my best friends, who is my former wife, who we have 2 great kids with, she has a great job. She's a coach. She has all this money coming in, and she's still renting. Okay. I mean, literally, she could have had a house paid off like 20 or 30 years ago. And by the way, a house where you're paying a mortgage is still a liability. We're looking at getting assets. And the different techniques and hacks that we have a hack that in a 30-year mortgage can be paid down in 5 to 7 years. Okay? Without paying additional payments. It's all technique. One of the greatest techniques that my mentor taught me was to go to any city in America, including your own, with $100 in your pocket, and within 72 hours, and that's why you got the $100, because that's to eat. That's 3 days. You could own income-producing property with no credit and no down payment. It's all a technique, and I've done it. That's why I'm saying I can lend you my belief. You see? But you do have to work on yourself. Study, meditation. I got another book out that we talked about a few months back. 108 ways to raise your vibration. You got to raise your vibration, and you got to do it daily. You see? Because otherwise, you're either growing or you're dying. And most people are dying. All right? So you can get out of that 3D matrix and start functioning on a 4D and a 5D level. That's the level of miracles. And we all have that ability. Every person on the planet who has a nervous system, and I'm going to get a little out there now, There are other people on this planet, okay? But every human being that has a nervous system is a master, is a goddess, is a god. But you gotta realize it. If you don't realize it, it can be hard to make it down the street. Okay? And literally, you're gonna get old and die. That's the frequency. All right. But you start stepping in and transcending those things and refining. Your nervous system is your vehicle of perception. You got to refine the nervous system. That's why you hear about all these great beings. They would fast. They would go off into the mountains. They would do all these different things. That's to refine the nervous system, to get the gunk out of the way. All right. They would meditate. They would be still. So you start refining your physiology, and then you start to be more awake, aware, and vibrantly alive. So what happens is that there's a sequence in reality. It's called be, do, and have. The 3 and the 1. All right. Most people start at the second level, do and then have. That's the hard way. All right. And we train people to start at the B level. Remember, we're human beings. We're not human doings. In fact, if you do too much doing, it starts to be do. And that doesn't smell too nice. Okay. So you be first. And then you do. And then you will have. Another analogy is the God spell, otherwise known as the Bible, all right, has been translated over 700 times. All right. And they tell you it's dogma. And they tell you it's allegories and fables and stories. But knowledge is different in different states of consciousness. If you read it just straight up, it'll take you out. Okay? There's even a section in there where it says that it's all right for the master, if you're a slave, to beat you. That is obviously something that some man put in there. But they're great stories and allegories, and one of them is the prodigal son. That's talking about you. Okay? Went out and did riotous living. That's the stress. That's being in this 3D reality. That's the fear, the lack, the limitation. Dog eat dog. Getting angry and stuff, which is perpetuated. If something doesn't go your way, you get angry. Studies have been found that within 61 seconds, if you don't change that frequency, it brings you down. All right. Most people drop their body, otherwise known as death. Okay. Most people drop their body from a heart attack or stroke, which means that the stress is built up so much in the system that the heart stops. Okay. And it's just accepted. When a person starts to get up around whatever, 70, 80, 90, they on a walker and what have you. And then they drop the body. That's because they have not expanded their consciousness and they have not refined the nervous system. You refine the nervous system, you can go for as long as you desire. And the body maintains that. Okay? So, literally, it's time for the new earth. The old earth is fear, dog eat dog, war, lack, limitation, slavery, blah, all that lower frequency stuff. Now it's time for everybody to be a millionaire, and there's enough abundance on planet Earth right now for everybody to be a multimillionaire. But yet only 1% of the population controls the rest of it. Right? And that's by design. but you can be in this world, but not of it. You can transcend it, but you got to have enough consciousness, and you got to refine the nervous system. Then there's no limitation. There is no fear. The fear of false evidence appearing real turns into feeling excited and ready. Okay? You're still going to feel the feelings. All right? But you do the transformation where you take it to a higher level. You start going into love and joy, bliss. You don't hear people talking about bliss. Most people talk, I'm upset. I don't feel good. Okay. That's another thing. Whatever you put behind I am, you become. That's how powerful we are. So watch what you say. And as a great prosperity teacher says, fake it till you make it. Look at Muhammad Ali. He had talent, okay? But he would always say, I am the greatest. And he made himself even greater. He affirmed that. He did an incantation for that. You can do the same thing. Don't limit yourself. How are you going to limit the unlimited? Tell me, where does God, the universe, source end and you begin? It's all connected. But you got to wake up to it. And you can't wake up to it with an alarm clock. Okay? You got to go within.
It sounds like the law of attraction in many ways, what you're talking about, but you're only going to attract what your consciousness is putting out. So what I'm hearing you say tonight, and I've been on mute because people have jumped in the pool all of a sudden. Not people, but the kids.
I hear them all.
So it's like really noisy all of a sudden. And I'm trying to see what's going on. So it's gotten more active. But anyway, I think what I hear you saying is that when you practice a lifestyle of consciousness, meditating, eating right, not fear, but the opposite, then you're going to actually attract the financial success you're talking about, the real estate you're talking about. You won't have to work as hard actually, because your whole being, as you said, is just ready for bliss.
Yes.
Your whole being. In fact, it sounds like what you're saying. When you are walking in bliss, you're going to attract more bliss.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are.
Yeah. There you are. There we go. So I want everybody to get your contact information especially for this course. Let me put it in here. You want to give them your website?
Yes.
Or your email?
My website.
Okay, what's the website?
The website is Conscious Millionaire Masterclass.com. Okay. Conscious Millionaire Masterclass.com. And it's coming up.
Millionaire
it's coming
has
up on Saturday. Yeah, Millionaire. Conscious Millionaire Masterclass.com. In fact, can you bring it up?
Okay.
I think you can bring it up so they can see it.
Oh, you mean, on the screen. Let me do that.
www.consciousmillionairemasterclass.com. And you can tap into it from anywhere in the country because it's all going to be virtual. Even though if you live in Atlanta or nearby, I am doing one of the days live and having a professional video crew come in.
Okay, let me see if I can bring this up. Share screen.
Yeah, so click that. Yeah, click that. Yeah. So all right. So play this, or at least play a little part of it. Put the real estate symbols. Greetings, great ones. This is Master Jeru. Love inviting you to an awesome event that's about to take place called the Conscious Millionaires Nothing Down Real Estate Seminar, where you will learn how to become financially independent and free in 5 to 7 years. In fact, you'll learn a technique where you can go to any city. Yeah, so I just $100 in your pocket, okay, including your own city where you live, and with no credit and no down payment, you can own property within 72 hours. Okay. You're also going to learn a legacy program, a technique. Yep. That in 7 to 10 years, you can retire a millionaire. Okay. And pass it on. That's why it's called legacy. And it's time for us to start creating legacies. All right. So it's a very powerful course. I used to teach these courses over a full weekend. All right. It's worked. It helped me to achieve over 100 properties with little or no money down and no credit. And I've taught hundreds, probably by now thousands, okay, to do the same thing too. Because you're going to get actionable steps. You're going to get proven frameworks and systems. Also, we're going to work on the mindset. That's the most important thing. The only thing that's holding you back is you. Yeah. Yay, Bo. Awesome. So you gave him a little taste. We can't hear you, Viata. We can't hear you.
Thank you. I'm muting and going back and forth because the kids are still in the pool. Yeah, I want everybody to check out the website and make sure you seriously think about developing some real estate in your life because and we have someone here, Master Jeru, who has the integrity and the reputation that we can trust. So I'm certainly going to look into it. And my new book is out, so I'm hoping that'll really be profitable. And I did download your book, by the way. I just haven't had time to sit down and start going through it. I know you said you can't really go page by page by page. It's one of these books where you can pull out some nuggets as you go each day. And so so maybe we could bring that up as well.
Okay. Hello? What happened?
I get pushed out every now and then.
Okay.
100. What's the name of the book again?
108 Ways to Raise Your Vibration, The Alchemy of Enlightenment.
And the website is where they can find that.
The website is on Gumroad. You can go to my page and it could click it in. And my page is masterjeru.com. masterjeru.com.
Okay, I'm going to put that in there, masterjeru.com. Because I think one of the first things people should do is get your book So
Yeah.
they in fact are raising their vibration to attract uh easily, and then let's just say easily attract the bliss and the wealth and the real estate, because it doesn't have to be a struggle.
Right.
uh my first real estate investment was a struggle,
Right. Right.
and
Exactly.
I don't want to ever go through that nightmare again, because what
Mm.
happened is I had someone in my life who I mean, not someone, the male person who I was associated with turned out to be one of no integrity, uh,
Mm.
all kinds of problems with this person. And to this day, I'm still battling with this person about this property. And we don't even have the deed to the property. After all these years, his maneuvering and lies and deceptions, the title was we were unable to acquire a title because of all the relatives, and the title search didn't come out right. Oh, it was just a nightmare, total nightmare.
Mm.
And so I don't ever want to have to experience that again. So I'm just moving so carefully
Oh yeah.
when it comes to investing, and maybe a lot of other people have had that experience as well. So here's Master J. Root's website. I encourage everybody to check out, because this is where it starts, is become being, not doing, but being, as it says, a journey rooted in wisdom and experience, doing the things that coaching, meditation, guidance, educating, filling your mind with this type of information, where you can attract everything in your life that you want: bliss and happiness, joy, prosperity. Here's the book. Yeah, here's the
Yeah,
book.
there's a book. So you just hit that where it says get instant access. It takes you right to it.
Yeah. So you'll be able to start working on yourself right away. And this sacred geometry here will also enhance your experience.
Yes. Just
Just
looking at
by,
the cover starts to create
yeah,
coherence in your brain and puts your frontal cortex online. Whenever a person gets worried or stressed or in dis-ease, that causes a physical malfunction in the body, it's because their frontal cortex is offline. And there are techniques like TM, transcendental meditation, okay, that put it online every time. Every time you sit for 15 to 20 minutes, it creates that coherence. And so the system gets used to it. Not only that, it dissolves so much stress in that short period of time that you go deeper within yourself. See, the more profound your rest, the deeper, the more profound is the activity. All right. And they found in studies that when you settle down, the deepest is when you go to sleep at night and you go into REM sleep, rapid eye movement. Takes about 4 hours to get there. All right. In just 15 to 20 minutes of TM, twice a day, every day, you go twice the level. Yeah, that's a beautiful, what they call yantra. It's a symbol that allows for the brain and the physiology to go into coherence. Okay. So when you get deep rest, but yet you still have awareness, it's called restful alertness. Normally, when you go to sleep, you settle down in a theta state, and then you keep going down into a delta state, and you pass out. You're not even conscious. All right. But TM, you're twice the level of the deepest point of rest, deepest point of sleep, but yet your mind is alert, aware, and expanding. We call it restful alertness. Okay. So you start integrating your nervous system with your activity and then going back to get the deep rest. It's literally like pulling a bow and arrow back. Right. So if you pull a bow and arrow back 5 or 10%, which is what most people do, their mental potentials is about 5 or 10%. The other 90 to 95% is what is called your subconscious. All right. And that's what runs your bus. When you start expanding your consciousness, the sub becomes less. And you can actually reach a state where there are no subconscious areas of your mind, where you're conscious all the time. And your super conscious expands into that. So you start to become more awake, aware, and vibrantly alive every day in every way just by meditating and acting. See, most people don't know there are two types of meditations. And most of the meditations over here are of the type what they call recluse, where you got to sit, in a cave or sit in a temple for 6, 8, 10 hours a day. Okay. And you just deal with your own thoughts and your own stuff. All right.
Mhm.
EM is a technique that's what is called a householder technique, which was given to the kings and the queens who had to control their kingdom. So they only meditated like 20 or 30 minutes, sometimes only 15. But they integrated it with activity. And activity is part of the meditation in this type of meditation. So they would get just as much benefit as somebody who meditated for 6 or 8 or 10 hours a day. It's all technology and hacks and knowing about the physiology, the brain, and the nervous system. Okay. So you start raising your vibration, then everything, you really got 5 bodies: your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and the spiritual is the basis of the other 3. And then we're talking today about the financial body. All 5 of those get better just by enlivening the spiritual body, by transcending, by being still. See? That's the beauty of it. Starting from that state of being. In Sanskrit, there's a what they call the Vedas, which means pure knowledge. There's a set of knowledge which is called the Upanishads, right? And one of them is Yogastha Karu Kamani in Sanskrit. It means establishing being, establishing myself, then I perform action. Okay? Establishing being, not establishing doing. Okay? Not in doo-doo.
Right. We need to know the difference because the difference has been blurred when we look at Hollywood's influence, rap
Yes.
Diddy influence. It really
Yes.
is blurred as to the difference between genuine BS and so much more. So I'm so grateful that you took the time on this Super Bowl night. I mean, I know where most majority of people are in front of their televisions because there's
Right.
3 of them here. I know, and it's a time of family. So at least
Yes.
this will be in the archives and it'll be available. So I'll send you the link for sure so we can share it with our friends who missed this very important meeting tonight with us. But
Yes.
it's okay because the time is what it is, and but we're still recording this and it'll be available for eternity.
Yes. 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 Now, can you what happened?
And that might be a sign that it's time for us to
Yeah, it's
go.
time to go. Can
Kicking
you
me
put
off.
up the website? Is there any way to put it on the screen for people to see? The www.consciousmillionairemasterclass.com.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As a
Yeah.
banner.
So a lot of times people need to see it. I mean, I'm just saying the URL.
Chat. It is in the chat though.
Oh, it is in the chat. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce.
www.consciousmillionaire.com.
Yeah. www.consciousmillionaire masterclass.com.
Okay, I'm just gonna scroll that across the screen just in case. So it's going across the screen. So when this show airs, or when people
There you
view it
go.
later, we have right there, and it's in the chat. So we have done our part tonight to
Yes.
bring light to the world, and I'm so grateful. And let's do this again. I heard someone was saying they were in Atlanta with you at Sister Tawida's event, and they said they had a ball.
Yes.
So thank you
Yeah.
for shining your light all over Atlanta and everywhere else.
Okay.
So keep up the great work, as we all
Yes.
will, and have a good evening. Go back to mom. Let mom. You know the best part of the Super Bowl is the last quarter.
Right.
So you haven't missed a whole lot. I keep telling my son the whole thing's fixed anyway.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
And he's like, "What do you mean?" He doesn't believe it. He always conspiracy theories. I'm like, whatever. It's
Right.
all fixed. You believe it or not, it's fixed. And he's just not paying attention. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And the greatest Super Bowl is in here.
And thank you.
See?
But last word, greatest Super Bowl is going on right here in front of us and in nature.
Yes.
When I look out here, ooh, these trees and plants and birds and bees, this is Super Bowl activity that we can see in the morning, the sun. I had some
Yes.
creature under my house last night. I don't know what it was, just knocking against my house. And I thought, well, that's what night creatures do. Could have
Yeah.
been a possum or something like that. But I just sit laying there thinking, what is it? But that's Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Creatures
That's
roaming
real
around
Super
at night.
Bowl.
Yes. So we're going to say thank you so much. Any last words for us?
I would say life is a bowl of cherries, but stay out of the pits.
Oh, boy, that's a good one. That's a good one. Thank us. And we have one more comment. Washita Wellness Center is here. She says noisy in the background, but the info is so good. I'm focused. Yeah, you got it here a little late maybe, but yeah, I've been muting my phone, my mic all night because I'm at a Super Bowl party and it is noisy. The kids been in and out of the pool, and I haven't opened my mic most of the night. I have let Master J. Rue do all the talking because it's too noisy. And yes, Lord, mind and nature. And she says, LOL. Yes. So we're going into it's probably by now we're going into the fourth quarter, which is the best to me. The best two teams, really anxious and passionate to get to the fixed part where they can go home and get somebody to massage their poor bodies because their bodies are getting so beat up. This is the worst part of this game is they beat up their brains and their bodies so bad, but it's entertaining. So thank you, Washita Wellness Center, for joining us, and please share this. We've shared a lot of information, and it was a lot quieter earlier, so hopefully everybody will get the message and join you in this adventure to establish and gain more real estate and land, which they took away from our ancestors. And she says, thank us, Dr. V. And she says, Master Jeru, take over. Love it. All right. So we're going to say good night to our global. There you go. Cheering. Must have been a touchdown. Touchdown. Here we go. Say goodbye to our global family.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com.
So you're going to send me a link?
I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, Dhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, Ngiyabonga. Senegal, Jaref. Kenya, Asante. Israel, Toda. Pakistan, Shukriya. Afghanistan, Tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.
And I really appreciate all of you hanging in here with me on this noisy Super Bowl evening. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to watch the last quarter with my son and my grandkids and all these beautiful people, just really good people. And so, to all my yogi friends out there, namaste, sadnam, and aloha to all my friends in Hawaii. Stand strong, and North Carolina, California. We got this. We got this. We're raising our vibration every day. And we're in a war, but we're going to win this battle. So everybody stay in the light and in the vibration of bliss. Let's all go blissfully out of here and have a blissful week. Mwah. Shalom.